Well, hello again. This is Kari Rae Davis with Keller Williams, and I am here with Keelan Harvey with Highlands Residential, and we are here for our weekly hot takes of the financial market for real estate. Keelan, how are you this week?
I'm good. Everything's fantastic. We've had a rebound this week, which we'll talk about. So happy times
Good.
in the mortgage business.
Yay, good. So we have some good news a little bit.
We do have some good news. So it was a rough week, and it's been a lot of doom and gloom. And I'm sad that our video was doom and gloomish last week because it's real. I'm just being real.
Yeah.
But we've rebounded a little bit. We got a PCE report, Personal Consumption Expenditures report, which is one of the favorite. It's all about inflation, which is the arch enemy of rates.
Okay.
And we got that report back this week, and it came back showing inflation being tamed slightly, which mortgages liked. So we've rebounded. Rates got a little bit better from where we started in the week.
Okay, good. So they're just a little better at the end of the week than they were at the beginning.
Absolutely. Yeah. Very excited.
Okay. And I want to ask you, is that kind of a trend that the beginning of the week, sometimes it's not quite as good as at the end of the week? I feel like sometimes when we're working with buyers that sometimes the beginning of the week it's a little higher. Is that a trend normally?
It kind of feels like a trend. Yeah. I mean, I think it's just when the reports come out, I don't think there's anything to it, but I would agree. Like, it seems like, especially lately, like Monday's doom and gloom, and like, especially this week, it was really bad. In fact, this week we're probably the worst, well, definitely the worst rates I've seen in my career. It got worse than October of 2022.
Okay.
So, starting off the week depressing, but we've made a lot of ground these last 2 days because of this PCE report. So, I'm really happy to say that. I knew it was going to snap back, but that's really exciting that we basically got back what we lost.
Good. Okay, good. So that just goes to show everybody that rates don't stay the same. Obviously, they trend different ways depending on, what's happening with different economics. So one thing that I wanted to address this week is what kind of tools that we have available to buyers for them to be able to get into a house. And I know we spoke about this a little bit last week, but buy downs. And that's what I want to talk about for everybody this week is because, I currently am working with a buyer that we were able to take advantage of a buy down this week. And so I would
Mhm.
love for you to explain that to people and a little bit about what that is and how that looks.
Yeah, and let me frame this a little bit. So the problem right now is it's not the purchase prices of homes. In fact, you could get a fantastic deal right now, and seller credits are back in a very very big way, and it's how you can use those seller credits, and buy downs are back in a very big way. So we're seeing these seller credits come in right and left now, and it's really all about solving the problem for buyers right now. And the problem for buyers right now is these higher interest rates and the monthly payment associated with these rates. It's daunting. I mean, we're talking big numbers, right? When they're talking about their monthly payments. So what we're doing is doing this buy down, and I'm going to digress a little bit on this.
Okay.
I predict the future because I want people to understand the strategy here. So nothing's changed in our world. Just because these rates are staying persistent, we know for sure rates are going to come down in the next 2 years, 24. Well, nobody knows exactly how much and by when, but we know they're going to come down, right?
Okay.
Just straight
Right.
up. They're going to come down. And it could be 12 months, 24 months, 36 months. And so the reality is, and I hate to use this overused, marry the price, date the rate. But your price is permanent, but you can always refinance. So if you can get yourself in a position and subsidize that monthly payment, that's huge for people right now because you will refinance in the future. So I think the best way to explain it is I'll use a very personal example. Very personal example. I recently purchased a home. I'll just throw it out there. And this home was for 739.
Okay.
And so I offered 765 with 30,000 seller credits. What
Okay.
that
And
means is, well, go
that's a
ahead.
pretty hefty seller credit too. That's pretty handsome.
It's a pretty
That's
hefty. And you know
yeah.
what? You may not be able to get that seller credit in every circumstance. It was a new construction, and some of these builders just build it in their profit. But
Sure.
hey, you might as well ask. And there's also, so with that 30,000 seller credit, I could get a 3-2-1 buy down.
Okay.
So what that basically means is I offer 765, I finance the 765, and then 30,000 seller credits goes into, let's call it like a piggy bank. It sits there and then it distributes money each month to reduce my payment. So much so that with that amount of seller credit, I was able to do, like I said, a 3-2-1 buy down,
Uh-huh.
which let's say my rate is 7.375.
Okay.
Now that means that year one, that's going to be in fact, I have an example here. So I'm going to get very specific on everyone.
Good.
So this $28,660 was what I needed for a 3-2-1 buy down. And so year one, my rate is technically 3% lower. So it'd be 4.375,
Okay.
which basically for the first year, that's $1,100 a month that goes towards my monthly payments out of my piggy banks to subsidize that monthly payment. That saves me $1,100 a month
For the
in year
first year.
one. The first
For the
year
first
per
year.
month.
Right.
Yeah, every single month. So instead of having a principal and interest of 4,226, my principal and interest is 3,055. That doesn't include taxes and insurance, significantly less, right?
Okay. Right.
And then on year two, it goes to 5.375. And then on year three, it goes to 6.375. Then on year four, it goes back to 7.375, and it would amortize over that entire amount.
Okay.
People get it confused with buying down rate. I would not buy down rate right now because you're going to refinance. So I'm so sorry. My phone just went off.
Hey,
Lesson
we're
one.
we're actively working, so
Yeah,
hopefully
yeah.
your phone's ringing.
Lesson one, silence your phone. Anyway, so yeah, so it subsidizes that monthly payment significantly, which makes it so much more affordable for me. And not to be confused with buying down rate, because buying down rate, you're going to refinance in the next couple of years. You might have to pay a little bit for rate, just because the banks are struggling. But
Mhm.
buying down rate is not a great idea right now. But subsidizing that monthly payment is.
Right.
Uh, when it first came out, I didn't like it until I found out because I'm like, okay, what if I refinance on year two? Like, there's
Right.
still a bunch of seller credit there. Do I just light it on fire? And that's not the case. It actually goes towards principal, so you can't lose any money on it either.
Right.
So,
I mean,
you
that's, and
know,
then when you get a gift like that, because it is a gift from the seller.
yeah,
And it's in there. There are also opportunities to do like a 2-2-2-1, which is a 2-year buy down, basically. So it might be a little bit less money. So it doesn't have to be this huge chunk of cash that you're asking the seller to work with you on.
absolutely.
Yeah, so I think that this is a great solution for people because I agree with you. We did the same thing for me last October,
Mhm.
where the whole theory is if you've still got this piggy bank of money that is a seller credit waiting for you, and you've not exhausted it in that 3-year period, that money goes towards your principal when you refinance, which is huge. I mean, if you've got $10,000 to $15,000 left over, or however it is, if you're able to refinance in that second year, that's a big chunk of money off of your principal. So
Well,
I think it's super
well,
exciting.
and guess what? When you refinance, what are you paying? You're using your equity, right? So
Mhm.
instead of paying your closing costs, you're using the equity of your house. So if you have $10,000 or $5,000 of seller credit left that goes towards principal, it's basically paying for your refinance. So
Right.
as a strategy, it's genius. And right now, you're going to pay way less for a home
Right.
than in the next couple of years. Even this year, homes are set to appreciate by about 7%.
Okay.
And when the market goes bonkers, when rates go down, market's going to go crazy. I feel like we're going to be in one of those, multiple offer crazy town markets again at
Right.
some point that you're very familiar with.
Right. Well, and I think we're so lucky here in the Northwest because we have strong jobs. We've got a strong economy. It's a highly, highly desirable area to live in. We've got a lot of people that are moving here where I feel like this is a good place to invest your money in real estate. Even if you're not, even if you're out of state and you're looking for rental properties, this could be a great place for you to invest. So,
Yeah, we'll have to do a whole video on that, but I would love to talk about the strength of real estate. And because a lot of people are freaking out about '08, and the reality is it's the exact opposite market, and real estate is extremely healthy.
right.
So we could do a whole video on that one. We'll talk
Well, I
about
actually would
it.
like to because I got a comment from somebody asking about, after watching this video, asking if they should be buying a rental property. And I was like, yeah, if you have paid off your house already, then, and this is a personal family member of mine, my brother actually, and doesn't want to be a landlord. And I was letting him know, like, you don't have to be a landlord. You can still make your money work for you and have investments for retirement. So that is definitely something I want to touch on again. And that's why I'm excited to do this with you every week, Keelan, is because I really think that just having these organic conversations, talking about what's happening right now this week, whether it's going to be good or bad, we're going to have good things to report. We might have some things that we're not excited to talk about, but it's reality. And I want to make sure that we are educating people and what they can do. Like, if it's a tough market, like, what are some tools we can give them to make it so they can get in to a home and start, really starting their wealth with real estate. So
Absolutely. There's always a way, and we're always getting creative on solutions. And,
right.
I think there's a fantastic opportunity that could be missed right now if you don't have a good understanding, especially with the media, the doom and gloom. It couldn't be farther from the truth. So you could be missing a huge opportunity
Right.
at this point right now with these high interest rates and you're marrying the price. You can get a great deal on a home right now.
Right. I agree. So I think that that's a good start, like an end for today. Do you have anything else that you want to share with us today?
No, I'm excited. We have a
Okay.
lot more to share and many more videos to come. So
Right. Don't get tired. Awesome. Well, Keelan, thank you. Have a wonderful weekend. Okay.
yeah, you
Thanks.
too. All
Bye,
right.
everybody.